pass over to Lucinda. Thank you, Lucinda.
Thank you, John Drinkwater. I want to give it up for John today. As our technical manager, we must give it up for them, because this is the work that means it for me as a speaker, facilitator. It's the production team that is actually what matters. So thank you, John, for inviting me to be in District 91. My home club is in your district. I'm a member of Shilling Speakers in Division A. What I want to say to you is, I don't mind distractions. I don't mind questions. You can give it to me whenever you want to. No problems. John will also monitor the chat box. If it's important, say it's important, and then I'd rather put it in the content that we deal with it. Your questions and what you need is the most important. I'm delivering on what you need, not what I know. It's what you need to know, any of those blank spaces. So thank you for the poll. And what I'm now going to do is I'm going to open up the presentation. It does take a couple of seconds to open up, and then we are ready to roll. So please do get yourself fully engaged, get on screen, and you will see, I've even put myself on screen with you, so it will not be that. We're going to make it exciting, engaging as much as we can. It really is my passion. What I do for a living is I'm involved as a sales specialist and in marketing, conceptualizing brand growth, development. It really for me is something like even Toastmasters. I'm passionate about Toastmasters and growing the brand, growing your clubs, not anyone else's. It's important today is about you and your club today. So we get to the first part about attracting these guests, and that's why you saw in the poll one question was coming up throughout is, where are you posting? How often are you posting? And what are you doing? So my first question to you is, who are your ideal members? If anyone's got an idea, put in the chat, raise a hand. Do you know who are your ideal members? Yes, Alan.
Someone who's going to stay with the club. And not just their membership doesn't last just 6 months. You want to get them, not only get them, but you want to keep them there.
Okay, but if we had to look at the makeup of the people that join your club, for me, the biggest thing where we lose members is maybe we get members that are not really fitting for that club. And then they visit other clubs and they leave, or they don't feel at home. So a sense of belonging and feeling at home is quite important in a club, and they feel that the people around them are adding value to their life. So no question is ever going to be wrong today. I'm just going to ask us to maybe think a little differently about how we look at things, and together we will. Anyone who wants to improve their chances at work, social skills, people who strive for self-growth, everyone who really wants to improve. I'm going to ask you to even be more specific if you can. For instance, the other Lucinda is chartering an online club. But if we have to look at who they're trying to attract, what is the basis of it? Shilling Speakers, where I'm a member, they want people who are vibrant, dynamic, high achievers. That is what they want. 10 DTMs, the fourth TEDx speaker coming out the blocks. It's about who gets there faster, quickest. It's about being fast. It's about being dynamic. It's not a quietish club. It's about local club, local people. Let's buy into that for your club. Local, meaning look at the culture of that club. What would that club look at being a local club? Is that a club that want like a dinner setting, want to go for dinner, want to have drinks, a more pub kind of setting? Does your local club look more like a book kind of club? Are they more a hobby kind of club? I think more and more we're looking at a word called niche clubs. You can see Toastmasters bringing about people like gardening, book, writers, golf. They started in District 71, Toastmasters for golf. More and more, we're looking at very, very niche clubs. And the thing that works There was a club in District 91 that had a stammering element to it. And we discussed the fact that would it be important to have a stammering club on its own? It's really important to look at what makes you stand out. Is it young people, 20-year-olds, entrepreneurs? Is it people who are now married, got two children, they've got a common ground? What is that thread that goes through? If it's a Saturday club, morning club, what is that thing that draws these people together? Because that's what's going to make your club succeed. And it's really important to find out who those members, it's not to make it broad, like people that want to grow. That's broad. Everyone could want to grow. They could want to grow in various aspects, but have a little look at what will make it for those people something that they will never miss their dues. Because if I've got something that's kind of good and kind of nice to go to, but it doesn't hit the mark, it's not going to be my first priority to pay. When COVID hit and people had financial cutbacks, I don't know how bad it was in District 91, but in other districts, people had no salary. Now, you've got to make sure that this is one of their top priorities to pay that membership. And I'm not going to stop paying if I see such value out of it. So what is your club that no other club offers? What is it? You create a theme for the year. You generally have something for your club. What is that factor that your club does that no other club can do? What can they not match? And it's really important when you start to knuckle down. I was sitting with a club in another district recently and trying to gear them towards corporate. They were half corporate. They didn't get the draft, go corporate. Take it into the content of the actual themes of the meetings you're holding. Make it about the corporate. They fell back on the social element. And now they're battling because people are attending the meetings because they want to learn, but they're not joining the club. It's really important to remember we're not as a free service and we're not just giving a whole lot of content. Enjoyable meetings got it as well. That's coming up. Really important to look at what makes your club stand out. Critical point to look at. And that's something you will sit with your club and your excos and your members and you'll work this out. Get visible. You know, there's a quote coming up. My favorite quote is about to pop up, and it is my quote, like hands down. If people don't see you, they don't know about you. And in the UK, you've got so much opportunity, especially even now in COVID, where the newspapers are quieter. Even your local radio stations are quieter. You've got various things you can go into, community papers, many things you can fall into. Because there's not so much news because things have quietened down. I don't know how far out you are of lockdown, but I think more than ever, especially now that people are maybe lonely and they actually want networking and they want to learn and develop something new. So I think this is very important to remember, get visible. Is it your local newspaper? Is it your radio? Is it social media? Now, this is not a PR. I will come back if John wants me to come back and do PR, exactly PR. Social media is, as I said earlier, Meetup, Facebook page, Facebook group. You've got LinkedIn, Instagram. So there are a whole lot of things that you can fall in, Twitter. And you need to work out where that ideal market, your people, age group, culture, who they are. Where are they based? Do they read the local newspaper? Do they listen to the radio? And if they're on social media, which one? They are all different. Meetup is for people that goes right across the entire age spectrum, from 20s to 80s, I can tell you. People who are lonely, they're divorced, someone's passed over, whatever it might be, and they're looking for outings to get out. Instagram is very young. Facebook is kind of generic, kind of all over. People like it. LinkedIn is very business orientated. So I'm busy now with an event called Beacon of Hope for South Africa and then the world at the moment. And I found out that my main target market was on LinkedIn and was business people that are the most worried about their lives. And I've realized probably in Toastmasters right now, that is more and more looking like a place where people are looking to develop in business, entrepreneurship, job creation, whatever they're doing. They're sitting there, and actually more than ever, that is a place to go. But you've got to work at where you're at and what you're going to market at. If people are going to libraries when they open up again, have you got an advert up there? Do you have a table there? Get visible. And then what matters before, during, and after a meeting? And I learned this traveling before my TEDx. I was traveling around the world doing speeches because I wanted to see globally a response to my actual TEDx. And I realized more and more I was getting clubs that really were doing it like remarkable. They were promoting their events way before. So you'd said you want to go. Before the meeting, they already were setting it up, warming you up. They were leading you into that meeting. The meeting, they were focused on their guests, visitors. And afterwards, they were acknowledging their guests and visitors in emails, Facebook. And that, for me, was incredible to watch. Those clubs, for me, were doing an exceptional job. And you could see it by their numbers. Because of that one factor about before, during, and after, their numbers were doing exceptionally well. The last one on this point is about effective messaging. It's about the benefits, the value, the story, successes. So my question to you is, in effective messaging, and in District 91, your PR, one of your PRs set up an incredible array of slides that you could use. And it spoke to the burning need of anyone out there at whatever level they were at. And I think there might be in the District 91 website, if I'm not mistaken, maybe on a VPPR tool, something like that. What's very important, and John, if you share it again, the benefits, values that I put in a slide for you to go through, please do look at that. I don't know what file it is, a file that's coming up. Please look through it. We will certainly look through it at the end if we've got more time. But please speak to what your guest, your prospective guest or dual member, why will they join your club? What can you offer them that is going to give them what they need? We'll get to this. But what are you giving them? Effective messaging. What can you give them? What will they need? And the stories. Give stories about, there we go. Diane's on the call. Thank you to our Madam Club Growth Director. Thank you very much. It's really important to share those stories. Stories about your members. Your story, your why. Share those stories in the social media, even do videos, whatever you've got to do, but get those messages out there. And success. If people see you celebrating, you look successful as a club, you've got to draw people in. So if you're acknowledging winning, doing well, well done to our members, great event, all that kind of conversation, guess what? People are going to, I want to go there. This club looks like they're doing the right thing. We've had the best number yet. We had 60 people attend our meeting, whatever it might be. But sometimes in the social media context, you've got to blow your trumpet and not be that shy about it. There's my favorite quote for you. Never underestimate the power of visibility. Repeat, never underestimate the power of visibility. It is the most important thing in life. If there's one quote I can give you, is this quote. I live by this quote and I'll die by this quote. Is your visibility. If it's your social media, and I want you to remember that everything we learn today, you can take into your personal capacity, into your personal life. Because Toastmasters, we are meant to acquire real life skills through Toastmasters. This is not an additional hobby. This is meant to be part of your life and your growth and part of your entire life journey, if you can put it that way. It's not here today, gone tomorrow. And there's one thing that I've learned in life is what you're doing on social media, personally, as in your club. Remember, you carry your brand, the brand of Toastmasters, as a member of a club. So if me as a Toastmaster, and I've been in as a division director, If tomorrow I go on social media and I say something incredibly controversial, guess what I'm doing? I'm not only putting myself under a bit of a spotlight, but I could be putting the organization under a spotlight. So I always say in life, remember at all times, remember when you go on social media, not just your club or the organization, but remember your personal brand as well. Very important, never underestimate the power of visibility. Building a strong club. And there's one thing that always stands out. Lance Miller, once I saw his video, and I don't know if you've seen his CD, and I can't think what it's called right now, but he was the 2005 world champion of public speaking. And he did I think a successful club series, something like that. And some of the points are in from there. But in my profession as a sales specialist, there's one thing I know at Build is strong business, and the same as club. It's building a strong club. Know your members' needs. I'm going to ask everyone here, everyone in the club right now, do you currently know in your club where you are right now, do you know the needs of every single member in your club? Why they joined and what they want to get out of Toastmasters? I like to see hands, if there are any hands going up. Don't see hands. And I think there's a very good reason. Lucinda, you've got your hands up. Awesome.
I was just writing a chat to say we get our members to fill in a form when they join to explain what their needs are and what they want, any particular issues that they might have, possible disabilities, hearing or whatever, but particularly what they're aiming to achieve. That's what we do as they join.
Wonderful. Is that your new club that you're chartering?
It's both. It's both of them because we're kind of members of both, or VPM of both. That's what we've devised for both clubs.
I think this is a very good point. I think it's really important to check on this probably, I would say, every 2 months to check and see where they're at. Because remember that their needs change. So what I join and I want to do today, when I've got my DTM or I've got to being in directorate level, leadership, my needs are changing all the time. And I think the most important thing to remember is, are you keeping track with your members' needs? Because if you're not keeping track with your members' needs, what's going to happen is that member's going to fall out almost to pasture. And eventually they're going to disappear. So it's really important to find out their why. Why did they join? What are they wanting to achieve? And then ask the VPE, people like that, to maybe track it for you. So wherever you are in that club, to make sure you're tracking that need of your member. And it really is important to look at those needs and then deliver on it. So if I join a club today, the clubs that I'm in today, people know exactly what I want to achieve. And if I don't achieve that within a 6-month period, I'm going to leave. It's a known fact. So I think we're not just keeping seats warm. It really is about the needs, delivering, and making sure that we are delivering all the time on what our club members need the most. Recognition, celebrate the success and special days. You know how nice it is on your birthday to get a nice big birthday greeting. But imagine on a WhatsApp in your group, on the Facebook page, and it's your club, and it's like, happy birthday, happy anniversary, happy, job promotion, whatever it might be. Do the recognition, celebrate in your clubs and celebrate your successes, whatever they might be. And they explain to the local community, I've just won Treasurer's Gold. We've just won Treasurer's Gold. What does that mean? That we are such a great club and such a strong club. We paid all our fees before a certain date, 20th of September. So I think it's really important because the more people see that you're doing it, celebrating the special days, your members are looking like they're achieving. You're having a contest, go crazy before the contest, on the contest day, after the contest day. Our winners are 1, 2, 3, even do videos with them, whatever you're going to do. But that is what clocks it over because passion and energy is what sells clubs. I'm a high passionate person. So for me, when I get out there, I feel it up. I love energy. But I think a lot of times people go to a club, they sit in the back corner, and you've got to allow everyone to be different. We are all different. So I'm a high north, red, whatever. There are people that are introvert. There are people that are all different parts of the equation. And we have to allow for that. And I think in a club, it's really important to recognize who these people are. And some people want to be left in the back of the corner of the room and not be forced to speak. Allow them that, but also enthuse them with inspiration and energy in order to want to take that next step. So you allow people to do as they feel. It's a self-paced program, but remember all the time to use that beautiful energy that you have and really put that into your club. Because I can tell you, if I go to a club and it's like the EO, it's floppy ears and it's very, very forlorn, it's very sad and it's very gloomy, I don't know if I'll be back. So I buy a lot into the energy, people, engaging, there's interaction. That's what I look for in a club. I know that is a way to create the big numbers. I can't remember Lance's ideal number that he got to. I think it was close to 85 members he got in the club. And it was because of a formula as we're going through building a strong club. His was on the energy, the communication, and that extraordinary unique selling point is how he created that exceptional club. And I can see the UK, you've got a couple of clubs that are way, way over that 20 mark. Beautiful. They are flourishing, numbers are up. The thing is to keep it there because you're going to have drop-off in numbers. Every single renewal, there's a drop-off. So you've got to keep, I always say, keep on increasing your membership, 1 member per month, and make that a mark, a very good mark to keep to at least. And for those clubs that really want to aim high, add to 5 members a month. And there are clubs that can do that, and they do it. And they even bring more members in. Communication is such an important part as well. Because communication is something that we're a communication leadership organization. But communication is so critical inside a club. If a member comes in, they feel they can't really tell you how they feel, or they don't feel that they're completely in a loop, and people aren't being transparent, they're not being open, and they feel that there's maybe inside fighting or there's something wrong, that can draw your members away. It's very important for EXCO members, the club officers, to be communicating everything across the members and having an open door policy that the members can approach anyone in the club, be able to speak and be able to communicate effectively and without fear. Make it a safe space and that they know that their voice matters. Because at the end of the day, Toastmasters is a membership-based organization. The most important person is the member. So it's all about the member experience and being member-centric for everyone in the room to remember that. At the end of the day, we are all members of a club. And we all need to know that we're actually getting what we want out of our clubs. So if we can remember that as the base level, we're on song. Then the extraordinary formula. How do we turn ordinary into extraordinary? Now, I can't do all the stories right now. We take Colonel Sanders, KFC. What did he do? He took ordinary chicken. It was just a chicken. And he created this magical sauce or whatever it is, coating, layering, whatever you call that thing over the chicken. And he called it, I think, his grandmother's recipe, something like that. And that is what KFC was known for. And he would never share it with anyone. But people wanted to buy KFC's chicken, not any other chicken. They wanted to buy KFC chicken. And it's because he turned ordinary chicken into an extraordinary KFC. The same as Steve Jobs. He took boring computers, sorry, John, and any IT person here, and he created Apple, the sexy, sleek, divine brand that everybody wants to own. It was more expensive, yet if you want to be made, you want to be a top business person, you want to be an entrepreneur, you want a brand, you carry that Apple brand with you. And so did Richard Branson do exactly the same. He took ordinary things with his gym membership, mobiles, money, whatever he did, airline, and he changed those boring factors into Virgin and then what they were. And it was the brand that took. the extraordinary to another level. Now, in your club, we all are part of Toastmasters. That's a generic. That's the ordinary. My question to you is, what are you going to do in building a club to get to extraordinary? What is that step you can do today that you make your club be the club that I want to join? I'm fascinated by Lucinda Brooks' club. Already I can tell you, I'm going to visit her club. I've got this new online club that's going to charter. She's been teasing me about some things about the club, and I want to go. I want to check what's happening at this club. Why are people from around the world going to this club in the UK that is online? So it's very important for me, for you, to understand what is it that's going to make you extraordinary. That someone will pay you the money up front for those fees and not even think, because they want to be part of the action. They want to be part of your club, and they don't want to miss out. They don't want to lose out. That your club has an extraordinary something, pizzazz. There's something about a magical potion. There's something about your club that they never want to leave. The next part is engaging your past members. Too many people forget about their past members. You need to go back, and I hope that you all do exit interviews. Everyone has that form. If you don't, shout. I have it. I didn't want to laden too much in the chat box tonight, but the exit interview for me is probably one of the most critical things if someone leaves you as a club, because they're going to tell you a lot of information. If they feel comfortable enough, there might be the golden nuggets you need to take your club to the next level. In the exit interview, it's kind of like a friendly chat. It's also investigative, like what are we doing that we need to improve on? But this is probably the most important fact-finding mission that I can ever explain, is that thorough exit interview. Does everyone here know about the exit interview? If people are leaving your club and you fill in that form. It can be done by the VPM, Vice President of Membership, President, or the Secretary. But I would really put a lot of time and energy into working out why they left. There's a reason why they joined. And 10 to 1, the answer lies in why they joined, and the fact there's a gap between their needs not being met, or the fact is that the club they joined has changed and they no longer fit into that particular club, or they don't feel they fit into your club anymore, or their needs have changed and they no longer feel there's a benefit to it. I always say, keep the fire warm. So invite them to your special events. Don't let them go. I know Lucinda's writing messages. Tomorrow I've got two. I've got two. I'm speaking at an event, so the next one definitely. Invite them to special events. So if there's a speaking contest, I know at the moment in the UK we're coming up now for humorous speaking. We've got table topics with all that. It's really important now to invite them to those events. You've got open house. Even invite them to come back and speak. Do something, take part. I would really keep them engaged and keep them coming back at some level. And you know what? It might just be that brings them back. And sometime by then, even just offloading that reason they left allows them to say, you know what, I'll give it another chance. Especially if you say, I've heard what you've said. What if I implement and our club implements ABC? And you might be surprised. I've seen many members come back after, sorry, the chat box is disturbing, after they leave, and just the exit interview, following up afterwards, which I would always do. I would follow up with past members probably every 5 or 6 months at least, and just make sure how they're doing, and catch up on news. Don't make it about club, don't make it about money, which we'll get to just now. And keep them on your emailing list. Remember, with this act we have, just be careful. Just make sure that they accept that they're there, but with their permission, keep them on your emailing list. Keep it warm. Keep it exciting what you're sending out. And I think you're going to be amazed by that emailing list. If they start seeing this club is really successful, I'm really missing out. What you're missing out on after a meeting, that might be the reason that they come back to your club. And as I said, keep good terms and relationships, keep them warm. And even if they left your club, you know about a death in the family, you know about a special something in their lives, celebrate it. Say one of our past members has now published a book. One of our past members is now whatever they might have done. And that's another way that you might end up bringing them back to your club. Are there any questions at the stage before we keep running and running and running? Silence. Sounds like Wimbledon or what is now the USA Open. UK must be very happy with that win. Very good win.
Okay, Lucinda,
Right.
Nobody's saying anything, so I'm going to chip in. You've had 35 minutes, and the observation I'd just like to throw into everybody is Toastmasters is gone. The Toastmasters you used to know has gone. This whole online thing has changed everything for you. People usually joined a Toastmaster club because you happen to be the local one, and that's no longer true. This online thing has changed the way people look at clubs and look at Toastmasters. And the ones that react to that are the clubs that are going to really grow quickly, and the clubs that don't are going to be the ones that just mosey along. It's a bit of a wake-up call from us. That's the negative side. On the positive side, it offers so much more opportunities for all of us as clubs, because you can specialize in a particular area that your club members wish to take advantage of. And because you've got the ability to bring people online as well as offline, you have the chance to make a niche club now, not just because you happen to live close to Epsom, you can come and join my club. Or if you're too far away from Epsom, you're going to go down the road and join Sutton or Reigate. You're all going to have clubs near you. You're all going to have clubs far away from you. Your opportunity now is to choose what you want to be. That is the end of my speech. Thank you very much.
Well, you know, John, you're the best, because you brought up things. You gave me a chance at the chat box. Moments of truth. I didn't want to get too fluffed in the VPM territory. Moments of truth, absolutely, because that's where, if you're running that through your club and your members, I attended one in the UK, and we had breakout rooms, and there were things that came out of there. I think that the club officers almost shook when they heard the facts that came out of those breakout rooms, and they were the truth. So it's very important to run those moments of truth, and online at the moment, they're really great to run. Some members don't want to attend online meetings. I know that is a whole new picture. Some of you saying, you know, going back to the physical face-to-face, and now it's navigating face-to-face versus hybrid versus staying online, which some clubs are doing. And it's very important to remember that we are now faced, there is no going back. There is no going back to normal. We are living in the new normal, and you've got to remember, you've got to get the best out of what we're doing now with our lives. And the thing is, we've been faced with, you can travel the entire world now. And it's really important to get out there, to speak online. We're learning new skills. John is teaching me, Kit is teaching me in the background, so my presentation skills get better and better. We are being given opportunity to grow and globally be able to present and do training internationally rather than even in our own country. Before, we thought we had to fly. Like I had to fly to the UK to go into a presentation. Whether now in South Africa, I'm sitting right now, I can do presentations. So there's giving you a lot of skill. It's also another fact is people are lonely. You cannot tell me that this time being home, even if you've got a whole family, people are really feeling the pressure of being alone. So it's really important to remember this. That's a selling point, that you can network without putting your life at risk, without getting yourself into COVID risk or whatever, from your own comfort and safety of your own home. And you can network, get together people like yourself, and you can formulate new networks, relationships, all of that kind of beautiful thing. It's a perfect time at the moment is to be in Toastmasters. Selling Toastmasters. Toastmasters is the most affordable, effective education program. Repeat, Toastmasters is the most affordable and effective education program in the world. without a doubt. I can't even tell you. I paid a Welsh lady. I'll tell you in Rand what I paid, and I can't work it out in our back. But I paid a Welsh lady 210,000 Rand for 6 weeks of coaching. She taught me nothing. I was in Toastmasters for 6 months, and I knocked the ball straight out the park. And the price difference is huge, because this is an experiential hands-on training. There's nothing like it, where you get to be part of different roles, try different skills in a safe and supportive environment, even the roles in meetings, with this leadership in any area, the projects you have to do. You constantly are being pushed and nudged to grow and to learn. 10,000 pounds. Yeah, I can't remember the amount, but it was wicked. It's like 20 to 1 to the Rand. So you can work it out, but it was painful to pay that and not to learn anything. The second thing I want to say to you is, please don't talk about money, talk about value. I see so many people at the moment trying to put out things for the money. Come on, you got to pay your 52 pounds. You got to pay 52 pounds by the 5th of September. Rather change it to, I'm going to tell you about the value of what Toastmasters brings you every 6 months and what it can do for your life. And you think you might be at a certain point, but what if I tell you you'll be way further? Because these are still areas you can still navigate through, whatever it might be you choose to. But I would say to you, I'm seeing a lot of treasurers get very heavy on the accelerator of money, and I'm seeing it putting a lot of people off at the moment. So I'm seeing a lot of people moan about it to me personally, and I don't know why it is particularly this cycle, but it seems like people are very focused on money rather than sending invoices. I helped someone do an invoice as a treasurer, and I got him to perfect a beautiful story about what Toastmasters done for his life and why paying this was his biggest gift himself, because he was his best asset. And he sent out the invoice, and 10 people paid the same night. That was a big change for him. Most important investment in the entire universe, the entire room today, is you. You are the most important person, and you are the biggest investment that you can make is in yourself. It's not in anything else, because you are with yourself. And the more you grow and develop, the better your life's going to be, and the more you're going to achieve, and the further you'll grow. So many written growth. Invest in yourself and develop. Keep going. And when you get to one level, you get a distinguished Toastmaster, think, oh, I'm done. Then start going for the next thing. What is the next? Make yourself useful. Make yourself valuable. Get yourself out there. And keep working and improving and pushing yourself. Go into other districts like I do. Work beyond your borders. Get out there and keep on investing in your own growth and your own development. And the other thing is, why did you join and what has it done for you? That story is your best story. I have so many people out there that I know their story. The biggest story is, I had no confidence. I had this dream of being a public speaker, or I had no confidence and I couldn't even get through an interview. I kept on losing the jobs. Or I had little confidence, or I felt very inferior. And I sat in the back of every conference, every meeting, and I didn't know even how to speak because I shook so much. Or I've been given a job offer to present now because I'm in management and I don't know how to do it. That is your generalized thing you hear. And mine was always different. My thing was that I was asked by a DTM once, Lucinda, we know you speak. You've got no problem speaking, but do you get invited back? And I go, never. And she said, well, maybe you're not so good after all. And this was 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I got my aha moment that I thought, you're not so good after all. And then I went back to school in Toastmasters from Icebreaker and all the way up. And then I got to TEDx last year. You see, I was never going to do it without this organization. Speaking internationally, coaching internationally, all of that is because of what I've learned to structure, be concise, how to put it together, execution, all of that I learned in Toastmasters. I was nowhere. I was never going to go anywhere if it hadn't been for this organization. And that's the story I sell. And it is the truth of my story. What can it do for your guests and members? So John has put it there, benefits and value, which I'm not going to open up now. I'm going to scramble up my presentation here. What can it do for your guest and your member? And if you can have a look at that, John has just shared it again. I wonder if I can open it. I'm just very scared. I'm going to scramble myself. Let's see if I can open up the document. I think I might have it on my laptop. No, I can't find it. And it was opened. If we, let's see if we can open it. I can open it up here. Save. No, I can't open it up, unfortunately. Okay, if you read through it, it's going to give you a whole lot of scenarios. And then what the benefit, the value to the individual and to the organization. That's a valuable document right in front of you. So somebody says, I can't get a date. I think they're being clever. I can't get a date. What can Toastmasters do for me? So, well, you know what? Interesting to say that. But if you've got more confidence in yourself and you're able to sit in front of somebody and listen to them and then respond in a really effective manner, you've probably got way more chance of getting on that second date. And the fact of impromptu speaking or whatever else there is, you will be in a better place. So in everything you look at, if you look through that, you'll see there's something for everything almost in that, but there's a way of working out. What can I do for you? And then real life transferable skills. Now, this is a separate training that I often run. This is probably one of my most favorite ones to run. It's about Toastmasters. You're not meant to be a professional Toastmaster. It's meant to be part of your life. And what matters here today in today's training, what matters in your projects that you do, what matters in your leadership roles you take, whatever you're doing, don't keep it capsulated in Toastmasters. Make sure it infiltrates every part of your life. And this is where it really matters. If you can show your prospective members, those corporates, whoever they might be outside there, what Toastmasters can do for their life. Not you can become the next district director of District 91. That's not going to draw somebody in. But if you can tell them, if you start Toastmasters, I can guarantee that within a year, you'll have the confidence to either have gone higher up than where you are in your corporate ladder. You definitely have done something that you always postponed in your life. You've achieved that one thing you wanted. You probably would have been able to test it out in Toastmasters first, so you would have the confidence for it. But real life transferable skills that you can show people, again, how did you take what you learned here? How did I get the TEDx stage? How did I take an international? All right, Alan, we'll see you. How have I and how have you? What have you done in your life that you've learned from Toastmasters that you could take out into your real life? So that's a very important one. Real life transferable skills. John, if you want me to do that one, that's a webinar that's really worth holding, is that real life transferable skills. Now, my favorite part, the converting guests to members. And it's the one that catches so many people by the Achilles and gets people falling time and again. And it's my favorite part. And my fellow Antonio Harrison from Shilling Speakers said it once to me, if you love it, put a ring on it. And it was a time that I was stalling joining the UK and joining Shilling Speakers. And I realized that this was perfect for converting guests to members. So what's important is you ask open-ended questions. If I'm going to ask you questions, I'm going to learn more about you, right? So I say to John, if I say to John, do you want to join Toastmasters? He goes, yes. That's a closed question. If I say, John, I wonder how Toastmasters could benefit you, or could you tell me about areas of your life that maybe I can maybe shed some light on for you? Open-ended question. You want to get them to talk and engage. So it's really important to find out what their needs are, their why. Why do they need to be here? Open-ended questions. And the most simple one of them all, and I'll repeat the rest of my days, and I got everyone in district training on this one. I asked them at the end of the quiz, what is the most important factor in converting guests to members? Ask them to join your club. It's so simple, yet people don't do it. They kind of feel like, but they'll say if they want to join, or send the membership form. Let them decide. No. Say to them, you know what, we would love you to be part of our club. You know, I think you fit in. We want to see more of you. How about you join our club? It's a simple thing. Ask them to join your club. The membership form completion, I see people trip up over and over and over again. Vice President membership is now tasked with this, and maybe they don't understand the entire process of the filling it in. And often I say, just meet people. If you're not face-to-face, meet them on a Zoom call and help them complete it. Because often they find it too difficult to complete. They've got club member numbers, they've got various things they've got to fill in, and they find it too much to fill in. And this is often where you lose the membership and then the payment. It really is simple, even the payment. Make it simple. Here's the account, pay today. We'll do the call to action next. Membership completion form. Help them complete the form. Remembering that either Secretary VPM is going to keep the form, the physical form they fill in, and obviously you're going to fill in on Club Central just the particulars. So you're not giving it to TI unless they ask for it. They want to prove the fact you've really got members, you haven't made them up, but you're not going to send that form, but you need that form as you'll keep on your files. If we look at call to action, if I tell you join our club one day, or we look forward to you joining our club, you'll join in a year, maybe never, you'll put it off, put it away, whatever. If you give a person £5 off if you join today, you don't have to pay your new membership joining fee. We would love to hear that icebreaker of yours. We'd love to give you a ride at our club in 2 weeks' time. We would love to see you in 6 months' time and know what their need is, what they want to do. How about you take that step today? I'm here to step you through, hold your hand, help you through, whatever you want to say. And it's a call to action. Make it an actionable point, a date, timeline, event, frame, that you remind them you've got 1 day, 2 days, whatever, you've got the special running, do it by this date. The next meeting in 2 weeks' time, we look forward to hearing you speak, or you be timekeeper, whatever it might be. Follow up. People don't follow up enough. Member comes, member goes, nothing happens, whoop, and it goes off into the sky. It's very important to keep following it up, keep it warm, keep communication, keep engaging. How are you doing? How do you find the meeting? Have you got any questions for me today? Can we follow this up with a Zoom call or face-to-face for coffee, whatever it might be? Very important to follow up until the payment's done, membership form is done, the person then, and then the recognition celebration. Celebrate your WhatsApp group for your club, Facebook page, wherever you do your celebration. Celebrate and give recognition for this major step that they've taken, and then help them get onto pathways ASAP with the Vice President of Education. Get them on their journey because you know they're going to stay. Put a ring on it. You want to put a ring on it? There are your steps. Open-ended questions. Ask them to join your club. Bing, 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 big one. Membership, form completion. Call to action. Follow up. Recognition and celebrate. Celebrate. Recognition. No, in fact, in corporate, if you give somebody money versus recognition, they'll take the recognition and not the money. So remember that in life, people want recognition, and we need to do that for our members. We forget too often. And when you're in leadership, you're not going to get recognition. So you remember to give it to everybody else, your members out there. The recognition for you should be seeing people happy, a vibrant club, getting people getting what they want, and creating what they need. And now that is it. You see, I made it, John, in time. Bang, on the mark for John. Question time. And now it's all over to you. This is where the gold comes out. This is where we get to discuss anything that you need.